Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be talking about my positive birth story to my beautiful baby girl. I was supposed to record the entire thing and all of that, but everything happened so fast. Like, I was in labor for 6 hours. From the moment I got to the hospital, everything was moving rapidly. I also meant to record this a long time ago, but having a newborn has been a little bit of a struggle, I'm not even gonna lie, sleeping wise. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking down at my notes to make sure that I covered everything and I didn't forget about anything. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. All right, so being a first-time mom, I didn't really know what to expect. I know that once you go into that labor and delivery room, like, anything could happen. So I didn't want to plan my labor down to the T and then something went wrong or the entire plan didn't go as I wanted it to, and then I'm disappointed. So I basically wanted to not per se go with the flow, because I did have two little things that I wanted to happen, but if it didn't happen, then I would be okay with it, as long as my baby girl was gonna come out, she was gonna be healthy and safe, then I'm fine now. Okay, so my birth plan was pretty simple. Like, I wanted a little to no hospital intervention, as in I didn't want Pitocin or anything that could potentially make my contractions stronger than what I was already feeling. So once you get Pitocin, or they break your water, or any other type of drugs that I'm not really sure about, they can make your contractions 100 times worse, more painful. So yeah, my plan was to just labor at home as much as possible. And I want to say I started having Braxton Hicks at the end of maybe 38 weeks. That's when I started feeling like these mild period cramps, and the cramps will stay for like 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then I won't feel it again until like the next hour or so. But I feel like that's when everything kind of began, and I thought something was happening. But then again, I've never been pregnant before, so to me it could have just been regular pregnancy pains. If you hear some weird noise, my dog is having a bad dream right now. So yeah, like, I didn't really know what type of pains it was. To me, it could have just been regular pregnancy pains. And then at 39 weeks, they got a little bit stronger, and I was feeling them a lot more often. But still, I wasn't quite sure what I was feeling, because when everybody talks about Braxton Hicks, that's not necessarily what I was experiencing. Everybody's like, oh, when you're getting Braxton Hicks, you're getting Braxton Hicks. Your belly tightens up and da 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 da. Like, to me, I didn't feel none of that. Like, my belly tightening up, I didn't really feel that. Maybe I felt it like once or twice, but I could have just been thinking that I felt it, but I don't know. Like I said, the Braxton Hicks didn't feel like what everybody else said that they felt like. To me, it just felt like mild period cramps that were strong. Sometimes they weren't strong, and they were like for 1 to 2 minutes, and then the pain will go away, and sometimes it will come back to back. Like, yeah. At 39 weeks, I was already over being pregnant. Like, anything that I did was uncomfortable. Laying down was uncomfortable. Sitting down was uncomfortable. Standing up was uncomfortable. Just everything was uncomfortable. I was getting up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, like, I would say every hour. Like, I was just over it. So that's when I decided, like, I'm gonna go ahead and try to induce my own labor and see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't. Because supposedly they say that you necessarily can't induce your labor. Like, if baby's ready to come out, baby's gonna come out. So I was like, there's no harm in trying, because I'm healthy. I'm not like at risk of anything, and baby girl was fully ready to come out. at 37 weeks. So I went ahead and tried to induce my own labor at home, and some of the things that I tried was I ate a pineapple, and I ate the entire pineapple. Like, I peeled it up and I ate the entire pineapple. And once I ate that pineapple, not gonna lie, I was feeling some type of something, like the period cramps, which now Braxton Hicks, I was feeling that like within 1 to 2 hours. So I think the trick to eating the pineapple is that you have to eat the entire pineapple, not eat like a little bit of it. Like, you have to eat the entire pineapple. What else? I was drinking the red raspberry leaf tea, and the red raspberry leaf tea, I was actually drinking that from when I was 35 weeks pregnant, and when I got to 37 weeks, I started drinking, instead of 1 cup, I drank 2 cups. When I got to 38 weeks to 39, I was drinking like 3 to 4 cups a day. What else did I do? At 39 weeks, I started to do the nipple stimulation. I used the manual breast pump, or I just let my man do it for me. Sex, lots of sex. Foot, I did the foot and hand massage, and I did a lot of workouts on my medicine ball. I also did this 90-minute mile circuit for inducing labor that I found on YouTube. Yeah, I just pulled it up and I did exactly what that girl was doing, and it was for a long time, and some of the positions were uncomfortable, but I got through it and I did it. After I did all of that, I decided to try the midwife's brew, and the midwife's brew basically consists of castor oil. I did mango nectar, almond butter, and what was that? What was one more? It was, oh, and some lazo tea, which is basically like kind of like green tea, to be honest. So I drank that, and you have to drink the drink within like 20 minutes over ice, and that's exactly what I did. And then I would say within the next 15 minutes, I was in and out the bathroom. And a little TMI, but yeah, I went to the bathroom several times and I had diarrhea the entire time. Yeah, and then after, like, it started with diarrhea, and then it got to like loose, like some loose stool. And then after that, and I thought I was finally feeling better, I had to go back to the bathroom because I'm like, something feels off, like I'm not feeling well. And that's when I threw up the entire drink. Like, I projected vomit that entire drink out. Like, she was not feeling it. She wasn't feeling the drink from the moment. Like, you ever drank something and it's just like sitting like on top, like, oh, like it's just over here, like it's not digesting, it's just here. Yeah, that's basically the drink until I threw it all up. Then I would say like 1 hour after that is when my labor began, because around 4:30, that's like the time that my man got home, and I was already starting to feel the contractions. And at this point, the contractions were coming like 20 to 15 minutes apart, and they were lasting like 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, and they were feeling a lot stronger at this point. So at this point, like, they're feeling strong. Like, I didn't want to lay down, and I couldn't sleep through it. Like, usually, like, you know, when I was having the Braxton Hicks before at 38 weeks, like, if I was feeling them, I'll just go into bed and I'll lay down and switch my position a little bit, and I'll feel better within a couple of seconds. But these shits was feeling strong. Okay. So basically the contractions continued, and they just kept getting stronger, and this time they were like coming less and less time apart. So it went from being 20 to 15 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes. So that's when we're like, yo, let's just pack our hospital bag, because I didn't even pack my hospital bag. I meant to do a video and all of that, and I didn't even get a chance to. So I didn't pack my hospital bag, so I threw in a bunch of stuff into my hospital bag, and I'm like, let's pack it just in case. My man's packing his hospital bag, I'm packing the baby's bag and everything just in case, because at this point I don't really know what I'm feeling and if I'm supposed to be going into the emergency room, given I should have called earlier. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to labor at home as much as possible, and I didn't want to go to the hospital and then they'll be like, let's just start this, let's start that. And yeah, so I wanted to, if that's what I was feeling, I wanted to hold off a little bit. And plus, like, it was kind of bearable. Like, it wasn't getting to the point where I couldn't, like they say, like you can't talk through them or whatever the case is. Like, I was still able to talk through them a little bit. I was laughing and all of that. So to me, I'm like, this can't be labor. This can't be what everybody talks about. Let's see. So we packed our hospital bags. So yeah, so I wrote here like around 10 p.m. is when they started to get 5 to 10 minutes apart, and they were still lasting like 45 seconds to 1 minute. And it was getting to the point that I couldn't really talk through them and I needed to concentrate through the contraction. And that's when I called the hospital and told them what was going on and how long it was going on for. And they were just like, come in as soon as possible. So me and my boyfriend took a shower, got ready. We left the hospital bags at home because I still was not convinced that I was in active labor. Like, I thought this was the beginning of labor. Like, I was not convinced that I was going, like, I was in active labor. So I was like, they're gonna make us come back home. Let's just leave the bags here and come get them later or something. Like, I don't know. So we got to the hospital like around 11:40, almost 12 o'clock. And I told them everything that was going on, that I was 39 weeks and how long my contractions been going on and how fast they're coming. They took us to that labor and delivery section. So the first room that they took us to was the triage section. And they kept asking me if I wanted a wheelchair, but at this point I was sitting in the car the whole time, and when I was home I was like on the medicine ball, and the medicine ball and standing up were the only two things that were comfortable. Anything else I didn't really want. I didn't want to sit down, I didn't want to lay down. So yeah, so they kept asking me if I wanted the wheelchair. I said no. So we walked to triage. And the lady that walked us to the triage, she did not believe that I was in labor. Like, it was super calm. Just walking into the room, having conversation and everything. Even when I got into the room, I was still having perfect conversation with everybody. So let's see. So yeah, once I got into the triage, they like strapped me up. They wanted to see the contractions and monitor all of that. After they monitored for a while and they realized I was having contractions, they gave me a quick sonogram just to see if baby's head was still down. And yeah, and if there was still fluid surrounding the baby and all of that good stuff. They drew some blood. And then after like 10 minutes, I did not want to be strapped up and I did not want to be laying down. So I unstrapped myself and I went to the bathroom, and I had to use the bathroom again. I had to do number 2 again, and I was in there for a long while. And then after I got myself together, cleaned myself up, one of the physician assistant came in and she checked to see how I was, and she checked to see if I was dilated, and that's when she told me I was like 6 centimeters dilated. And I was like fuck, 6 centimeters. And then she told me, what steps do I want to take going forward? Do I want to stay at the hospital? Do I want to walk around a little bit until like I get dilated some more? And did she wake up? So yeah, do I want to like walk around a little bit and stuff like that? And I chose to stay in the hospital. Like, I didn't want to go far because my contractions were coming back to back and the pain was unreal. Like, I'd never really felt that pain before, and I wanted to make sure that I was in a room where if I needed some drugs, they can give me the drugs. Like, I needed to stay here and I needed them to be close by. So even though I chose to stay in the room, they didn't strap me back up. I just was walking around in the room and I was making those little like, and that was actually kind of helping me get through my contractions. And my man was there and he was really supportive. I just leaned on him and he would give me quick massages, and that's how I was getting through the contractions. And yeah, so the more dilated I got, the more I realized I needed the epidural. So I was 8 centimeters and I was like, yeah, let me get that epidural now before we do anything else, because they were planning on giving me Pitocin, but like I was already dilating quick enough. Like I was already dilating fast. Like I got there, I was 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, 8 centimeters. Like I didn't need the Pitocin, but I needed the epidural before they broke my water. And yeah. So at this point, I was waiting for my epidural, and the pain was like no other feeling. Like it was an intense pressure in my vagina and my asshole, like all at the same time. Like it felt like every contraction I was having, like the baby was gonna come out at that moment. To the point, like, I kept telling the nurse, like, I feel an intense amount of pressure down here. And like sometimes they would check me and they would be like, you're still not dilated enough. She told me that they cannot keep checking me. I forgot what reason, but she said that they cannot keep checking me, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. But like, I still feel this pain. But I would literally say that after every contraction. So like, even if the nurse came and she checked me, she was like, you're 8 centimeters. Like the next contraction I had, I'm like, the baby's coming now. Like, I feel this intense pressure. But that was before I got the epidural. So they finally came with the epidural, and I got this really nice lady, and she basically explained everything that was gonna go on with the epidural. Like she just really explained everything to me, and I thought my man was gonna have to step out. He didn't have to. He stayed right there. And she's like, I'm gonna put this in your bag. You tell me when you're having a contraction, and then we won't move until your contraction is done. And that made me feel better, because like a lot of the stories that people say, they say that, you're getting the epidural while you're in a contraction, and that's the part that scared me. So like when she was going in with the needle and I was about to get a contraction, I'm like, I feel a contraction coming, and then she's like, okay, no problem. And then she'll ask me like, are you still having a contraction? I'm like, yeah, I'm still having a contraction. And she's like, all right, let me know when it's done. And then yeah, that process went down pretty smooth. I did have to stay still for a while, even while I was going through with the contraction, and that was the most difficult part. But the fact that a needle's going into your back and anything could happen will really make you stay still. So yeah, but she was really nice, and just the way she explained everything. And even afterwards, like after I got the epidural, like she stayed in the room, she made sure that I was comfortable and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, once I got the epidural, I was a different person. I was calm, I was laughing, like we even got to take a nap. And the crazy thing is that when we were taking the nap, like how long was the nap? Like 30 minutes, maybe an hour? Yeah, like 30 minutes, maybe an hour that we took the nap. And at one point, like at this point I have the epidural, but like it wore off a little bit, like a lot. Actually, it wore off a lot. Like I started feeling contractions, and I was able to move my legs a lot more. And I like started tapping my boyfriend. I'm like, babe, 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 babe. And he's dead asleep. I'm like, babe, 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 she's coming. And before you knew it, all the nurses came in, the doctor came in, and they just bring all the tools out. He wakes up and he's like, yo, what is going on? But yeah, like I just find that moment so cute, because like before anything or anybody could tell me, like I felt like she was coming, and she really was. The nurses came in, and I told them that she's coming, I'm gonna start pushing, and she told me not to push yet, but at that point, like, you know, you can't really hold it. So she told me whenever I was getting a contraction to push and hold my legs back and push. And that's exactly what I did. My man was watching the whole thing and helping me like push my legs back, and I didn't really want him to stand like at that spot, like watching everything go down. Like, I didn't want him to see me so open. Like, I wanted him to stand more like closer to my head and be whispering stuff in my ear. But, you know, he just seen the entire thing. Baby girl came out and he watched it all happen. It took like 5 to 6 pushes, and she finally came out. At one point, they're like, she's right there, she's right there, I could see her, I could see her. And he's telling me like, she got hair, I could see her hair, I could see this. I'm just like, everybody shut up. Well, I didn't say it out loud, but that's what I was thinking, like, everybody shut up, because I thought that they were lying to me. Like, I thought they were telling me that the baby's coming so that I can continue pushing and I won't be like, what's the word, like discouraged or something. But that was not the case, because she was literally right there. A couple more pushes and boom, she was out. And then when she came out, she let out this big ass cry. Then the nurses came and put her on my chest for a couple of minutes, and then they took her away, and and getting her cleaned up. Daddy followed, and he had tears in his eyes, and that was like the cutest moment ever. And at this point, like, I'm still in bed, legs wide open, nurse and physician just down there, you know, stitching me back up because I got a second-degree tear. But then at the corner is my man and my baby, and he's just crying, and it was just the cutest moment ever. Like, it just made me fall like more in love with him. Let's see. So yeah, I got a little second-degree tear, but it wasn't like nothing too bad. Of course, I didn't feel anything because the epidural was working at that time. But yeah, even after it wore off, I didn't have like constant pain down there. Of course, I had a little bit of pain like when I went to the restroom, and yeah, and then in the nighttime, like in the nighttime, that's when I really started to feel some pain, and I requested some ibuprofen. But besides from that, it was good. Like, I came home and I think I only took ibuprofen like maybe 2 times, 3 times. But yeah, like, it wasn't that bad. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I hope you guys understood all of that, because I feel like I was just kind of like but yeah, that's basically my positive birth story. You know, everything didn't go as planned as I wanted it to. Like, I wanted to maybe have like a natural birth, and you know, I wasn't able to, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe for my next one I will, but everything worked out the way it was supposed to. Baby girl is here. She came in already weighing 6 pounds and 5 ounces, and everything was perfect with her. She passed all her tests. Everything was good with me, besides the little second-degree tear. And yeah, that's that. So that's it for now. If you're pregnant or planning on being pregnant, I'm wishing you all the best, and praying that you have a healthy and safe delivery for you and your baby. Okay, so bye for now. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below, or you can also reach out to me through Instagram and DM me if it's like more of a personal question, and I'll go ahead and answer you through there. But yeah, anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, bye.